At the end of every unit, your teacher has a chance to teach a lesson about other lessons and their context to enhance. But what do you suppose our teacher has us do? He skips the lesson and makes us present a digital LEQ. Elocution needs historical evidence, reasoning that can corroborate and advance. A complex thesis that Dr. John P. Irish would admire. Then we drop the screencast like a single that is fire. Student created screencast for you to like, subscribe, and share. We know you've had all that John Green and Steve Heimler you can bear. If we have the most views by 10 p.m. Easter on the 5th day, we earn 500 points, which guarantees an A. Without much more for ado, we present our digital LEQ.
Continuity and change in China's international trade connections. What are the continuities and changes in China's connections to the world trading systems from 1450 to 2000? Since ancient times, China had been a famous center for trade. As it developed over time, various factors of its international trade had been affected by multiple continuities and changes in customs of exchange with other countries. However, its most significant change was opening up international trade again after years of discouraging it due to the belief that China is self-reliant by the Chinese government. Therefore, other changes in trade weren't as impactful as the open door policy of 1978.
International trade in China started during 206 BCE through 9 CE as the famous Silk Road was established and flourishing. However, during the Ming and Qing dynasty, trade was officially discouraged since China was believed to be self-sufficient and maritime trade was restricted to the Canton system, causing China to be virtually cut off from the rest of the world. Due to Confucianism, international trade was limited until the arrival of European sailors in 1514, who viewed Chinese culture as primitive, further fueling the government's desire to keep Chinese culture isolated. The aspects of Confucianism, coupled with the arrival of Europeans, sent China into a period of solitude where government-authorized international trade and cultural interaction were virtually non-existent.
Since Deng Xiaoping, the paramount leader of the People's Republic of China, launched the opening up policy in 1978, China has remodeled itself from an underdeveloped agrarian economy and politically isolated state into the world's second largest economy and an essential player with global interest and influence. For instance, in the 30 years from 1949 to 1978, only 200,000 Chinese people have traveled abroad. Last year alone, 130.5 million trips overseas were made, while foreigners made 139 million visits to China. The statistics amplify how China needs the world and vice versa. China starts to diverge from a mercantilism view and letting people take control over trade rather than just state powers.
Some changes and effects that occurred were that trade became an increasingly important part of China's overall economy and it has been an essential tool used for economic modernization. China underwent a change from having full state power over commerce to having primarily owned businesses, but this is due to the use of a tributary system as a basis for trade and restricts access of foreign traders to Chinese markets, notably by limiting them to specified ports under controls established by the central government. Under the Qianlong Empire, the Western trading companies are limited to Canton, modern Guangdong, where they have contact with only officially designated Chinese firms or Hong. Also, we see that due to trade, China faces a shortage of sources for a period, but then an influx of foreign goods and ideologies that allowed them to develop as a country. These developments are visible in the forms of technological advancements and economic development.